We've got the Vantage Pro 2, Peter.
We've got the Vantage Pro 2, the 6252 Vantage Pro 2.
A little bit more advanced than...
Yeah, so the view is on the price point of where it is. If you can afford the Vantage Pro 2, you get a lot more bang for your bucks. So what we'll do, a good way to get it out, and then if you just slide it. You're getting very much the same features, or the same data being recorded from the Vantage Pro 2, but with a lot more flexibility and adaptability.
Is it a bit more accurate?
Yeah, it will be more accurate than the Vantage View. It's going to be more accurate because you're able to split the sensors. So ideally, you know, if you're in a garden environment or any sort of environment, you're able to split the anemometer from the main weather station.
Is it a little bit more customizable as well? You can add
Yeah,
things to it
so one of the things to point out with it is that you can easily add extra sensors to it.
for extra data.
Yeah, adding a mounting shelf onto the Vantage Pro 2, which just slots onto the top here, you can add UV and solar radiation sensors. So if we have a look very quickly, if we take off the panel here. So again, it's using the Davis Talks functionality and giving you 300 meters line of sight back to your receiver, whichever one you choose. By default, we'll have temperature humidity plugged in the bottom here, rainfall. You also obviously get the anemometer, which will plug in here, and then you've got your UV and solar radiation ports. A solar panel on the front here that's plugging into the board, so that's charging an internal supercap, 123 battery in here, and again, the standard station comes with the WeatherLink console. You can obviously buy the station on its own if you've still got an existing console and you just want to replace it if yours is getting a bit long in the tooth. Backwardsly compatible with all Vantage View and Vantage Pro 2 products. So if you have an existing, one of the older style LCD consoles, you can upgrade to the WeatherLink console.
Where does the battery go in this?
So in this one, the battery goes into this little compartment up the top here. You might need a little torch or something like that, but just make sure you get that polarity right, or you'll have an issue. We'll slot that cover back on for now. Keep them out of the way. So next thing to do is put the anemometer together. Make sure there's no movement on there. And with this, the wind vane comes pre-installed. So that's basically your anemometer there. And marry up that hole with that hole. Just a little bit of gentle pressure. Is a small Phillips screwdriver. So it's not the sort of thing you'd want to be doing in the garden on a windy day. Definitely do it inside if you can. And down the bottom here, you can see we've got a rubber bung labelled on here, so we'll pop that into the one that says wind. And then put one back on there. So now that's temp hump, and then what we want to do is make sure that that foam rubbery bung is sealing where the cables come in. You will, if you take these off, you will feel if you run your fingers around there, there's a certain amount of grease, and that is designed to keep it all nice and secure and dry. Slot that into place, and you should get a nice click. Pretty much that put together. We've got our tipping spoon. So if we angle that way, you can see quite similar to the Vantage View, 2 millimeters per tip. It comes with a cable tie holding it in place. So what I'd probably do is if you want to test it in the house or in the office or wherever before installing, cut the cable tie, but then if you've married it up to your console, just make sure that you're putting some bubble wrap or something like that around the tipping spoon. Otherwise, when you're moving it about, it's going to be banging backwards and forwards and creating false data. Reminder on the side of the aero cone, just to cut that cable tie. So and again, worth pointing out, as we said before with the View, we've got a nice little bubble gauge here for when it comes to mounting on the tripod, that you can make sure that you're nice and level. 5 years, 10 years time or something like that, you get an issue with the tipping spoon, or in here we've got the temperature humidity sensor inside the radiation shield. That's obviously slightly exposed to the elements. If you're in a very windy area, cold, wet, at some point in the future you may get an issue with one of these requiring a replacement. For example, a temperature humidity sensor, literally £60, and you just swap one in, swap one out. So the nice thing about it is it's completely future-proof. Any parts that you might have an issue with or whatever can be replaced. You can upgrade it to add your UV and solar. So a very flexible system. We've then got the aero cone, so inside here, clips back into place like that, nice and secure. We've then got, again, on this, which is an extra feature that you don't get on the Vantage View, we've got spikes. So these slot all the way around the top. We'll put a couple in for now, or pigeons especially. Love to find a nice place to perch and have a rest, but what they will then do is they will deposit things in there and block your rain gauge up. So just finish those off, and then I think they always give you 1 or 2 spare just in case you lose one while you're doing this. Give it a little bit of a tap like that, and then you've got a clipped base, and you find the slots, and then that should fit back on there nice and secure. And that's basically the station ready to mount once you've connected it up to your console.